Alrighty, so today's Inspired Insight. I'm going to try and keep this as concise as possible, but it is deep. Strap yourself in. So we are the universe looking in on ourselves. Are we on board with this? Awesome. Which basically means that innate to the human experience of this universe is curiosity. The universe is looking in on itself. What is driving it to do that? Why are there these myriad of perspectives looking in on itself? Because it's curious about itself. It wants to learn. It wants to know about itself. I don't know what the answer is, but I do feel inside that this curiosity is fundamental to the human experience. At its core of what it means to be human is to be curious. Really deep place. Deeper than creativity, deeper than a bunch of other things that are fundamental to the human experience. Like when you think about how deep creativity runs, masculine, feminine, coming together to create, everything in society is geared around creativity. But even more fundamental to than that is curiosity, because you get curious about what you can create, right? So curiosity is really deep, and I feel like it's probably at the core of the human experience, why we're here. Now, for a while, as you know, you'd be tuning into the Inspired Evolution. The Inspired Evolution is obsessed with purpose, right? Because it really cares about your health. This, like, while you're guiding yourself through this human experience, we really give a shit about your health, and I have come to realize that at the core of your health is actually your purpose, and they're actually the same thing. Your health and your purpose are the same thing. Like you cannot, say that, oh, I'm healthy, but I'm living off purpose, right? And this has been something that I've been speaking to for quite some time now, but something has just dropped in just now, and it's completely changed my perspective. So when we're talking about curiosity, what role then does purpose play relative to your curiosity? And I would say that basically the fulfillment, when we talk about purpose and fulfillment, the fulfillment of your curiosity is your purpose. Your purpose is the fulfillment of your curiosity. But what does that mean? Because while you're alive, the fabric of being human, the essence of being human is to be curious, to remain curious, right? When you stop learning, you stop growing, right? You cease to have that spark, that joy. So curiosity is innate to the human experience. And so from here, you're looking to fulfill your purpose. So fulfillment and purpose are very strong orientation, but they're not a destination. That's what I've just realized, is that purpose is not something you will ever arrive to. Maybe on your deathbed you do, I don't know. But what's true for me now is that I will always be calibrated towards purpose, like looking to what my purpose is. And it's a very useful tool, don't get me wrong. But will I ever achieve my purpose? No, it's a process. It's not an outcome. I will consistently be looking for what my purpose is. I'll be consistently working towards my purpose, right? Because that is my fulfillment. But you can almost argue that my purpose is to remain curious. And I will just be fulfilling my life's purpose, right? And that's really deep. So it's almost like they have this polarity. Curiosity and purpose are in this polarity. They're in it together. Like love and fear are in it together. Without love, you can't have fear. Without fear, you can't have love. They're like polar opposites. And it almost feels like they're at odds with each other. But the reality is without one, you can't have the other in this 3D realm. The same thing I'm feeling about curiosity and purpose. You will always be guided by your purpose. Now, the reason I really want to speak to this is because I know that calibrating yourself towards purpose can be stressful. It almost feels like it's the bane of our generation's existence. It's like, what is my purpose? Purposeful living. I've seen so many speakers, so many authors now, and the thing that they're speaking to is purpose. And at its core, they all say the same thing. Cultivate your passions. Absolutely great way to go about it. But it can be stressful. Why are you stressed out by your purpose? Because you're curious, and we're becoming clearer over time. Right? And we're getting clearer that actually what we're curious about is our existence. We wish to live greater levels of fulfillment, right? We don't have diseases of scarcity anymore. We've got diseases of abundance. So in that, we now are ready and poised to self-actualize. What is our fulfillment? Where does that stem from? It's from your curiosity. So now this opens a massive can of worms, if I may leverage that conversation into this, which is surrender. And this is something that, I've heard a lot from a lot of different people, like spiritual people consistently say, just surrender. And I'm like, yeah, but, I'm young and I can take charge and I've got the opportunity to create something and, I'm curious about these things and, I can actually drive my energy towards these things. And now I'm starting to realize what that surrender really means. Your purpose is something that you will consistently working towards, but you're always on. It's impregnated in the essence of your curiosity. You can't fake it. You're already there. So just surrender to the present moment. Being coached by Eckhart Tolle for the last 6 months, surrendering to that isness. Your purpose is your life's expression. It is already happening. It's already there. Surrender to it. I remember this conversation I had with Tao Gur, who was on the podcast, and he goes, you don't necessarily need to know your purpose to be on purpose. And I remember how alleviating of stress that was. It just opened up a breath of fresh air. You don't need to know. You're just on it already. And this is really being informed by a conversation I had yesterday with Dr. Srikumar Rao, amazing mind, bringing Eastern philosophies to Western business schools. And he is arguably one of the most renowned MBA teachers on the planet. The question, he did an 8-hour seminar that I listened to all day prior to the podcast. And one of the things that popped out of that was, he said, there are two things operating at any given moment. The first one, right, is what are you doing? And for me, that meant, what is your purpose? Are you living in alignment with your purpose? And the second thing is, how are you showing up? What is your attitude on that journey when you're showing up for what you're doing? So there's, at any given moment, two things in operation. What are you doing? And how are you showing up for what you're doing? Energetically, what is your attitude? All this sort of stuff, right? And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But I had this burning question, which I finally got to ask on the podcast, which I'm, again, super grateful for the Inspired Evolution podcast. Which is more important? What we're showing up for, our purpose, or how we're showing up for it, our attitude and our energy? And he said, infinitely more important is the latter. And this really helped, because what this means to me is surrender to the moment. Wholeheartedly give your energy to wherever you're at any given moment. And even as I'm saying that, I feel uncomfortable inside. It's a lot to surrender. For me personally, it just sounds like a whole layer of work. But that's the work for me now. That's where I'm at, and that's what I'm going to continue to work towards for the moment. Surrender. With this understanding that, I have to surrender to wherever I'm at, be present to wherever I'm at, surrender to the isness, and just show up 100% me in the moment to the best of my ability. Yes, obsessed by purpose, but knowing that that's just my innate curiosity, me being part of the universe, being part of this human experience. I will forever be guided by my purpose and my desire to be fulfilled, right? But it's just another desire. In and around that, there is just being isness in the moment. I can't tell you how liberating, but also intimidating it feels. The right word for me at the moment is awe. I'm in awe of the essence of surrender. Really hoping that this helps alleviate some stress around purpose, because I know for me personally, I'm completely driven and obsessed by purpose. And this is a whole new layer on that work. Love you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Love of the Inspired Evolution and sharing the love of the Inspired Evolution. If you feel like this content has supported you, or may support anyone else that you know may resonate with the content of it, please share away and share the love around. Thank you guys so much. And to stay up to date on whatever's coming out with the Inspired Evolution, please subscribe. There's all these links in the bio for you to tune into the episodes and all these different platforms, just so that message can get to you and your loved ones. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Stay inspired to evolve.